Hello friends and welcome to another video. Got a question the other day on one of my videos asking about lo-fi music. Is lo-fi music a good genre to compose and upload this music to certain libraries that I suggest on my guide? And by the way, if you haven't downloaded my guide yet, you can download it, link in the description. It's been updated for 2024 with the latest libraries where I personally sell my music, and libraries that I'm just literally joining as we speak. But the question of lo-fi music being the right genre for certain libraries is something that I wanted to share with you on this video because lo-fi music is really popular. In fact, it's one of the most popular genres across the board when it comes down to YouTubers, podcasters, I mean, you name it. The reason why is because it's such an aesthetic music genre. You know, there's so much texture. And obviously there are so many different subgenres, I guess, or styles of lo-fi music that, you know, you can be very creative. I quite recently have shared here with you one of my latest compositions, which happens to be a lo-fi track. But I want to show you here on a particular library their data of what lo-fi music, how lo-fi music is positioned in the marketplace in a particular library. Now, this particular library has a lot of insights when it comes down to what I can see of what's out there, what's trendy, what am I getting the most license, what are they getting the most sales in terms of tracks. And I want to show you how lo-fi is positioned here on this particular library, okay? And the reason why I'm showing you here on this particular library, which is Envato Elements, by the way, and before you go into the comment sections and say that Envato Elements is closed and they don't accept composers, that you know, it's by invitation only, I'm only showing you this is because it has a very detailed analytics of what's happening, not only on my sales and my downloads, but as well in the marketplace. And especially in the marketplace, you can get this data and you use it as a point of reference because lo-fi music is really popular on other libraries. Some other libraries, they just don't provide you with this type of insight. So I want to show you here very quickly. This is for the last 7 days, and you can see that obviously we're in Valentine's Day. Actually, as I'm recording this, is Valentine's Day. But you can see very quickly that is Valentine's Day is the first one. This is for the last 7 days for me. Anyways, these are the tracks that I'm getting the most downloads for the last 7 days. And on third place, you can see that it's the Lo-Fi Jazz Cafe, which is that track that I share with you on one of my videos. I did a little walkthrough of how to compose music using free plugins and all of this. And that's that track, okay? So you can see that it's new. It has just literally joined the ranks, if you will, of my music composition. So that's interesting. Here on the actual dashboard, author dashboard, I get more insights of what's happening in this particular library, okay, in the demand. And this is where it gets really interesting because you can see the lo-fi, funny enough, is in third place, okay? So you can see that Valentine is the first, then it's a Chinese New Year, and you have so much detail when it comes down to the data of what's happening. The supply is quite high, obviously, because a lot of composers are really composing a lot of music. And that's just to give you an idea of what's happening. Just because the supply is high, that doesn't mean that you're not going to make your own lo-fi tracks. You can see that I have just recently uploaded this lo-fi track, and it's already in third place as the most download tracks in my case, which is very similar to the trend here, okay? You can see the demand, you can see the growth, all right? And you can see the results, and I mean, there's so much, okay? And it gives you so many. This is one of the reasons why I like Envato Elements so much, and Audio Jungle in general, because you can get so much information about what's happening with your music, what's out there, okay? I mean, I know that Pond 5 has certain things, like what are the best sellers for the last month or whatever is trendy, but you don't get this kind of data, okay? And of all the libraries that I'm involved with, this kind of data helps me not only here on this particular library, but I transfer this information to other libraries because lo-fi music, I know for a fact that lo-fi music as well does very well on Pond 5 and other libraries as well, you know, because I do get some sales of lo-fi music track. They don't give me this data though, to back that up, okay? And at the end of the day, you compose whatever you want, really. You know, like I don't compose much lo-fi music, but I do have a few lo-fi tracks who are doing very well. I composed one last week, and there you go, right? It's in the rank, so that motivates me to compose more lo-fi music. Obviously, you can see what else is out there, what's trendy, right? If I go down, you know, lo-fi again here. And you have to keep in mind that people will type in this in a particular library in order to find this type of music track. So these are search terms that are being based on that, okay? So people are looking for this. All right. Obviously, you can see how people are looking for Valentine's music. I mean, if I go back here, I have a Valentine's track and a Valentine's Days track. So that's obvious that they're gonna start selling. They're gonna be downloads. All right. And then I have this kind of track, like pop rock track, this is usually something that is always selling. You know, but I mean, if I refresh this for the last 14 days, it should change a little bit. Okay, you see the Lo-Fi Cafe is still showing up. That's for the last 14 days, still new. But you can see very quickly that this will change. Pop rock energy, Valentine's Day, it's still approaching to Valentine's, so you can see it. Low Jazz Cafe, okay. This was not up here 30 days ago, okay. This was like now, like a week ago. But this is interesting data. All right, and that just shows you last day. I mean, I'm curious to see what the last day was. You see lo-fi music still appears there, some corporate pop rock. I mean, this corporate pop rock success, by the way, in upbeat corporate rock, this is a track that I have just done a video about it, actually. I've just done a video about these two tracks, okay? So these are brand new. These two tracks, these are brand new, and they're there. And that shows you as well the importance of always keep uploading. Because if you don't upload, and I've done videos about this over the years, I've actually did a couple of videos back in the day where when I was not uploading, I didn't upload anything to a library to see what happens. I don't recommend that you do that because, you know, I mean, back in the day when I did that, the sales did not decline that much, but there was a dip a little bit, you know. Now the marketplace has changed, and I believe that you have to compose music as much as possible and be as active as possible, because that shows you that, you know, these tracks are brand new and they're just, you know, they just literally like a day ago. Okay, there's some action. You can see they're new. Lo-fi goes below because I'm uploading more music. So if I upload more music, still the seasonal music will still take first place. If it was Christmas, it will appear Christmas here, you know what I mean? If it's some kind of like another holiday like Halloween or whatever, I'm expecting to see the seasonal music to be at the top. And then my bread and butter, which is just like pop rock, kind of like corporate music tracks and all of that, acoustic tracks. I mean, this type of tracks, Crime in the Streets, there's some dark tracks that have made their way in there. I mean, it's down, but it's been pretty active. I've been keeping track of this from time to time. And it is funny to see some tracks that are very dark and somehow they just, you know, that's what they do. I have more data here in terms of download, and this is what I want to show you. I don't know why it keeps refreshing on its own, this. Okay, this is like the latest data, but you can see the dates, all right? For example, number one, okay, and these are tracks that are being downloaded right now as we speak. But this is, again, data in terms of what music is selling for me, what music is being downloaded for me in this particular library. And it gives me a clear idea of what's happening here. Now, look at the date. You know, when people say that you can't earn money with stock music because, you know, it's just cheesy and that you can't really earn anything, this shows you here that this is a track that I composed back in 2016 and it's number one. This is not my best work, okay? But you can see that it's still getting downloads. And this is 2016, man. It's a lot of years ago, You can see here, okay, my latest track, Corporate Motivational Journey. That's a new track, 2024. Then the third one, another track, 2018. Again, old tracks. They're all mixed up together. 2024, quite recent. 2016 again. Okay, 17, 18, 16. So what that shows you is that music tracks that you composed years ago, okay, that you as a composer think that, okay, that's not my best work, I shouldn't have that music out there, it's still there, all right, and it's still selling, it's still getting downloads. And that's the purpose of stock music, that you can compose a music track right now, and 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you can still make some money with those music tracks. That doesn't mean that you're going to stop uploading. That doesn't mean that you're going to stop composing. What it means is that you need to stay active and always be composing. I mean, when you see this type of consistency of like me uploading since 2016, actually I started to upload to Audio Jungle because in 2014, all right? So I'm going for 10 years now with this particular library. So the tracks that you see here are all part of Audio Jungle. Okay, this just happens to be the subscription part of Audio Jungle, which is Envato Elements. But I don't get this data with Audio Jungle. All right, they just give me like, okay, I sold this track, I get the invoice, and that's that. There's no data. You know, there's not so much detailed data like this because this has to do with download and you know, and what's the trends as well, and how much am I earning per download. So you can see here these funny numbers, which is like obviously income, right, for the last whatever 2 weeks or so of this particular month. But this is as well gives me a quick idea of what's going on. But to answer to the question, and I hate to do this kind of thing sometimes because I tend to go on so many tangents. The video is supposed to be about lo-fi music, and then I get diverted into talking about different genres and what's doing well and what's not. But the question is, like, if it's lo-fi music good for a particular library? Of course it is. Any music is good for a particular library as long as it fits the context of music licensing or stock music licensing libraries, right? So even if you do dark music, yeah, you can sell. You're just not going to sell as much because nobody wants to buy dark music unless they're looking for that specific type of music. I mean, there's a lot of people that are looking for happy music on royalty-free libraries. So I will focus, at least in the beginning, heavily on happy, feel-good commercial music for sure. I mean, I've done some heavy music, like dark cinematic music. In fact, one of those tracks have been selected by a supervisor from a library, which is a sync library, as an example for a TV brief for a crime TV show. And I share this with you guys. Go and follow me here on the channel if you want to keep up with the updates because I'm releasing videos every single day. So it's a funny thing that I compose so much happy music and yet I compose one music track, okay, which is really dark, is completely out of my comfort zone even, right? Because I don't compose crime, dark TV music for anything. And I just, you know, I was having fun that day. I composed it, I uploaded, and then, hey, next thing you know, somebody from a sync library is fishing for some examples of what type of music they need, and they pick one of my tracks, okay? In conjunction with other two composers, which had very similar tracks, okay? So you never know. Really, you just have to experiment. But I will definitely recommend you, if you get it started, to just compose whatever rocks your boat. So if you like lo-fi music, go all the way in lo-fi music and make the best lo-fi tracks that you can. I mean, I composed that jazz cafe lo-fi music track, and you know, I get excited because it's just, you know, it's something that I don't do every day. I don't consider myself a lo-fi guy, but I'm a composer for media, so I must be able to be like a chameleon. One day lo-fi, another day, you know, crime music for TV. One day corporate, the next day cinematic music track. I mean, that's the beauty of being a stock music composer, that I can, you know, just master any genre and get joy out of making music like that. Again, if you're new to this and you would like to learn about the libraries, download my free guide. This data, like I said, is just on a particular library to just give you a quick idea of what's happening, because this data here on this library is not that different from other libraries, okay? Because on Pond 5, you will not get this type of data, but you will still have people looking for Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's, you know, season. right? The same goes with anything else. If it's like the Chinese New Year, there's people upon five looking for Chinese New Year's type of music. And the same goes with anything else. Lo-fi music, like I say, is a very popular genre. You can see it everywhere. So, you know, people are searching for that, not only here, but across the board. So this just gives you a quick idea of what's happening. I'm going to be sharing more about this type of things, like behind the scenes of what type of music is performing for me, and you know, earnings, of course. That's the whole purpose of this channel, to help you earn money with your music. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to let you go now, because you should be composing music and not watching these videos. Compose music, upload, let go, and then repeat. I'm actually going to create a fucking shirt with that. Upload, no, compose, upload, and let go. How about that? Make some merch or something like that. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Anyways, thank you so much for all the love and support. I really appreciate you guys. You've been showing a lot of love for the channel. I want to be showing up here every day for you, and I want to give as much as possible back to the stock music licensing community. I'll see you in another video, my friend.